So this is my polyhive, and I'm going into the second winter of my polyhive right now, and I'm using quarter. Hold on a second. I don't like the smell. When I smell a stink coming out of the hives in the wintertime, that's usually not a good sign. Okay, I thought I smelled something, but anyway, yeah, with this polyhive, it doesn't seem to have or at least I can't find a mouse guard that fits it properly. Like a standard mouse guard doesn't do it, so right now I'm just using 1/4-inch mesh taped to it, and that's working okay. I don't know if the 1/4-inch mesh gets any more clogged than the 3/8-inch mouse guards that are standard. I think the mouse guards, standard mouse guards, seem to get as clogged up as this. But anyhow, I have a standard mouse guard, and there's a bee flying. And where did that come from? Did it come from this hive, or did it come from over here? Oh, it came from over here. This is a nuke that I don't have high hopes for. It's all wrapped up in styrofoam, up top, bottom, everywhere. And its only entrance is right here. Now, it's not the very top of it. The top of it is right here, actually, so it's not right at the very bottom. And it's tilted, and I don't think all the heat's coming out. In fact, I've had a thermal imaging camera out here, and there's nothing. Like, if there was heat coming out of here, you would see a lot of heat pouring out, and it's barely a trickle, hardly anything. They're a little bit active. I'm not 100% sure about them because I'm not sure they even have a queen. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So I've got, what have I got here? I got an apple. I got some tacks because I'm going to add some standard mouse guards to some other hives. And I've got some duct tape because I don't have my red tuck tape. This is duct tape, just to make it confusing. But I do have my little, endoscope. And I'm going to very carefully, quietly remove that mesh there. And I'm going to replace it with this mouse guard. And I'm just going to tape it on with duct tape. And the mouse guard, let's just see. No, it's still, yeah, right? I mean, it'll look a little bit prettier, I suppose, I don't know. But I'm just going to tape it on. And so I'm going to give the bees 3/8-inch standard mouse guard opening. See, even now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, man, maybe I won't do this because look how low that is, right? That's lower. So if that clogs up with bees, they're not going to be able to get out. Whereas here it clogs up with bees, they can still get up to the. Well, anyway, it's right next to my house, so if I need to change it, I can change it. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to carefully remove that, and I'm going to stick this thing up there and see what the bees are doing. I suspect that the bees, this super is probably completely empty. If the bees are clustering, they're clustering right here, and I'm not opening the top. I don't plan to open this until it's like 10 degrees or something, just to check on them. But I don't even think I'm going to do that. Well, I might. My mind is all over the place here, but I might because I am concerned that this is something else that I'm concerned about with this setup of the polyhive anyway. As the bees start clustering down here in the winter, they move up and eat through their honey, and so by the spring they're up here. But if they got to go out for cleansing flights, they got to go all the way down here to get out. And when bees need to go out for cleansing flights, it seems to be the weather that triggers it, but it could be lots of things. It could be CO2 levels, it could be temperature, it could be moisture, it could be all kinds of things. When they go out for cleansing flights in the spring and when it's hot and warm on a spring day, they just all want to go, just instantly they want to go, and they want to go en masse. And if they're up there, clustering up there, do they have enough sense to come down and get out? Because even on a normal day and a normal setup, when I have, and for me normal used to be, and still is for the most part, top entrances. Even with the top entrance, they try to get outside so quickly that they don't always make it, and there's crap everywhere, all over the hive. So that's with an easy access to an entrance. But if they have to go down and out, are they gonna have trouble with that? Is that a long way to go? That's something that I'm concerned about. I think if I was overwintering in a smaller hive, like say 3 mediums, maybe not as much, but it's 4, and we'll see how that works out. If this works out, I think I can get by with overwintering in 3, because that's what I'm doing with most of my wooden hives. And when I say 3, I mean 3 mediums. Yeah, that's my thinking. But I'm going to just replace that mesh with this. Although I think the 1/4 inch mesh is fine. Yes, the bees get clogged up a little bit, but I'm not sure it's any more clogged up than what you get on the regular mouse guard. But anyway, whatever. I could be wrong. But yeah, anyway, let's remove this and then stick this thing up there and see what we see. I'm going to be very careful not to bother the bees. I just want to take a peek upside, and because the other thing I don't like about this, well, I don't like it, it's not a problem, but because I'm a curious beekeeper, I like to see what's going on. I like to be able to poke around my hives and see inside if I can, like either through the thermal imaging, or maybe with this camera, or just sticking a stethoscope to the side of the hive and listening to them buzz. I'm curious like that, right? And with this setup, this poly hive, it's difficult to do any of that, but I think I can manage something with this endoscope, so let's see what happens. I gotta say, I just peeled off this red tuck tape, and it peeled off really well and didn't take away any of the paint or anything. It came off quite easily. I did notice though that it still holds in moisture. I think all tape does that. It's just condensation builds up behind the tape, and it can hold moisture to the side of the hive, which I think is a problem if you have wooden hives. Not too bad on this though. I think duct tape and the silver tape is even worse. Anyway, let's clean out some bees. That's not too bad. Alright, here we go. Here goes this thing. It's set for a double camera shot. You know, you'll see. Here we go. Okay. So one camera is looking up, and the other camera is looking to the left or the right. So I don't see anything. Let's just look up the crack there. No. Hold on, is this anything? What's this? No. Okay, so that shot with the drone, that's the bottom of the hive. That's the screen bottom board. So that's looking to the left, I guess. And the other one is looking up. Underneath, up into the bottom bars. Let's just move it across. Alright, what's that? No, I can't see anything. This isn't exactly high resolution. Okay. So they're not clustering in the bottom box. Doesn't look like it. I don't see any bees. Do you? Hold on. Let's see if I can move this thing. No. I'd say I'm halfway, right in the middle of the hive. No, I can't see anything. Oh, that must be the edge of the hive right there. Oh, hold on, there's a bee, I think. Oh, no. No, hold on, that's just comb. No. Alright, well, I didn't see anything, so you can see look like some dead bees, more dead bees over here maybe, so the cluster might be on this side. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put on that mouse guard. Alright, now we've got a nice shiny standard mouse guard taped on with duct tape. And I had to put in little pieces of wood right here to block up these little holes, because there's little holes that are still open. But there you go. This little bit here is for when the bees clog up and die. They clog up the entrances down there, and I think they're supposed to come out, be able to walk out of that, but I'm not sure. This is not the same colony that I had going into my into this polyhive last winter. Last winter I had an old queen who didn't really make it to the... She made it to the spring, but she wasn't a viable queen. So I can't really judge how well that polyhive did last winter. But this colony, as far as I know, again, it's packed with honey, and I think they have it's a fairly young queen. It's not a brand new queen, but she's not old, so I think it should be all right. What else can I say about this polyhive? It's very dense styrofoam, or polystyrene, and it's funny how the little birds, it seems, and even especially the northern flickers, they seem to sense the bees inside and they peck at it. Maybe they find the dead bees, the little birds find the dead bees. I've seen little birds eating the dead bees. Maybe they eat some dead bees and they peck at the hive to see if anything else happens. But anyway, now let's go put some mouse guards in some other hives. This is the first year in a long time that I haven't used quarter-inch mesh, this quarter-inch mesh. I'm switching to the mouse guards, mainly because I don't think I have a big problem with shrews out here, and I want to see absolutely that shrews cannot get through the standard mouse guard, and if they don't, then that's one less thing. I don't have to buy any more quarter-inch mesh, but although the quarter-inch mesh is overall cheaper than the mouse guards. But I have heard from a beekeeper, a commercial beekeeper, who used to use exactly this, that his hives got decimated by shrews, but it's not a native shrew. I think they got decimated by pygmy shrews, which are small and can actually fit through that. Anyway, because that's, I know half-inch is definitely big enough for, it just doesn't work. And so this is almost half-inch, though. This is 3/8 of an inch. But anyway, we'll see what happens.